My last video was kind of more like, guys, I just really want to update you guys because I just haven't posted for so long. So now I'm going to do a longer one. I was going to make a video on like, should you take a job or should you be an entrepreneur? From my experience, I don't think either one is bad and I don't think either one is good. So to give a bit of a career backstory for anyone who doesn't know me, hello, I'm Presence. I went to LSE in 2020, ended up dropping out in second year. I took a gap year and then I took another gap year and then I dropped out because I basically really wanted to start my own business, and I was around entrepreneurs all the time. I met friends outside of uni, and I guess influence and an idea made me go like, you know what, I think I'm ready for this. So yeah, I just took the plunge, and I won't lie, it has been really, I don't know what the word is. I don't want to use the word difficult because I've had wins myself as well, and it's been like so fun, but it's a very high and low, like up and down journey as an entrepreneur. But like, to be honest, I think that's just the same with life, right? But it's even crazier when you're an entrepreneur. I made a lot of mistakes along the way. There's a lot of things that I did not predict in my journey. I learned a lot about just how fast life can change, and you know, I'm 25 now, and I just like felt like I was 20 yesterday. And now when people are in their 40s, they're like, oh yeah, like I was young like yesterday. It's like, I finally get it. And it makes me appreciate time so much more, because I know that very soon I'm going to be 30. I'm going to look back and I'll be like, wow, like that went by so quick. Because that's how I feel when I look back at 20 and when I look back at when I was 18. I am getting better and better at controlling my thoughts and my mindset. And when things are really difficult, I just remember that this is not going to last. Like, I just need to stay positive, stick to it, and keep going. And I will get out of this rut. Whereas before, I would just stay in that rut, and I would let my mind go into dark places that I would never want to go back to again. That's the first thing I'm going to say, is like, entrepreneurship is not for everyone, and there are different levels to entrepreneurship. Like, I know people that have small businesses, I know people that are, you know, insane levels, close to some really high up people, and they play a very different game, but they are both entrepreneurs. When I was young, I didn't think really much about it. I was just like, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur. And then I looked at what people around me were doing, and I just kind of went, oh, I should do that as well. So like, I had a friend that was in tech, and I'm like, oh, I should go into tech. I didn't really have a lot of friends doing content and stuff, so I didn't go down that route, even though I kind of enjoyed that route. But it was a good experience to get to experience kind of a bunch of different industries, a bunch of different levels and things like that. You get to the next level and the next level and the next level, and it just becomes very addictive to be like, oh, I got this win, what can I do next? You lose as well in the game. Like, I have won a few levels, and then I have lost and had to start at level 1 again. But it's kind of like, because I have played a few levels, level 1 isn't scary anymore. Level 1 used to be so scary, and then it didn't get scary. And then level 2 was scary, and then it wasn't scary. And then level 3 was scary, and then I died, and I had to go back to level 1, and then it was kind of like really sad and depressing. I had to go back to level 1, but then I quickly went back to level 3, and then I died again, and I went to level 1, and I actually know dying now is not as scary, because I
You really just need one yes, and all the 99 no's are gonna go away.
You know, entrepreneurship, a job, whatever, I don't know, career, it's just, for me, I've just been always constantly soul-searching. Like, from a very young age, I knew that, you know, a job is something you do for a long time, and if you don't enjoy it, what's the point? I was with, like, my family, you know, growing up, I was seeing them work, wake up, go to work, depressed, come back, complain, go back to work and do the same thing for like decades. And I'm like, I don't want that. I want a life that feels so fulfilled. I want a life that feels like I'm so excited to get out of bed every morning. I want a life that, you know, I want to be happy. I don't want to be like everyone I see growing up. They're depressed, they're sad, they complain about work. They're working really hard, but they're not making any money to like even feel secure. And I was like, no, this can't be my life. And so that's kind of been my driver for, ever since, is like trying to find that career direction that makes me feel fulfilled, but also financially just, not have to struggle or feel insecure and things like that. And I think that's kind of what I've learned, is like the mindset of feeling in abundance before you have the abundance. Feeling like you've got everything you need, because you already do have everything you need. And you don't need anyone else. All the answers, the solutions, the solutions to your pain, everything is all within you. We had an interesting chat about like suffering and pain, and that we've all gone through some really huge pain, and suffering is a choice and pain is medicine. And yeah, it's just like you are the creator of your reality. And when you realize that no one is here to save you, and you fully understand that, and you're fully whoa, no one is here to save me. I can fully trust. I only have myself to trust, and I only have myself to rely on. And it's a great feeling when you realize that it's time to prove yourself to yourself or what you can do. And I realize that when you have clarity and you set the direction over what it is that you want, and you focus, and you every single day just aim to get closer and closer to the goal, and you trust in the process, you will attract the right people to you, you'll attract the right opportunities to you. And yeah, I'm gonna talk some woo shit here, but think about, when you go to a restaurant and you order food, you're gonna say, I want an omelette with mushrooms and chicken and less salt and more ketchup or something. Whereas when you ask the universe what you want, you're like, I want this, but then because of fear, you're like, maybe I want to be an entrepreneur, but now I'm worried, maybe I should get a job instead. And then just telling the universe, all these things that are just making it confused. And it's like, okay, I can give you everything you want, but what do you want, So when you're really clear on what you want, and when you are focused on what you want, I'm trying to get my fee to get through this door. Okay, sorry. If I could go back to my younger self and tell her what I wish she would have done differently when it comes to her career, and her profile is, she is ambitious. She wants to build a business one day because she wants freedom. If you want to build a business, you need to understand why, Is it because you like to control your day? Is it because you like responsibility? Is it because you want to, make money off the value you provide, as opposed to a salary and a time clocking thing? So there's so many ways to make money, right? You can be an entrepreneur, you can build from scratch. You can be an entrepreneur without building from scratch. And you can take a job. But yeah, so younger me, ambitious, I would say still not a ton of work experience, someone who has a lot of ideas all the time. Or, at the time I was struggling with ideas because I didn't know too much about different industries. I was a student and all I knew was the student space. So didn't have a lot of ideas, wanted to find the right idea to work on. Wasn't very good with, I'd say, finding co-founders. And because I didn't have a lot I didn't know a lot that I feel people would pay me for when I was 17, 18. But what I did know is that I solved my own problem of the personal statement, which is why to be honest, I did it because I wanted to help my younger self. There was no money and business intention behind it, and it just became a business. So if I could give advice for that version of me, I would do exactly what I did, which is to think of a problem that I helped myself get over and build a solution for someone who is 1 or 2 steps behind me. And then I would create content around just that. And I would tell everyone who was that younger version of me that I'm trying to help, this is what I'm doing and this is how I want to help you. and help as many people as you can for free, because maybe you don't have the financial pressure that you have as an adult, and create those case studies and then start charging. What I could have done better is focus on getting those testimonials, because I didn't. I was just focused on helping people. I didn't ask people to help me back. I was very give and not asking for anything. So I would also ask for something in return. If you're helping someone for free, I would ask for like a testimonial. So you can start putting that on your landing page, for example, and selling that. So that's the advice I would give for a younger version of me, who wants to try to start something. I also did a lot of internships as well. Like, I'll be honest, I think I did everything right when I first started. I did a lot of tech internships with different roles. I did design, did sales, I did data, I did tokenomics, I did everything while also building the business. And for me, money wasn't the goal. It was to understand what was interesting for me to build, what did I want to do next. So I would do that if I'm at that stage of my life. And then I think the mistakes that I made was afterwards, where I focused on figuring everything out myself. Because for the first business, I could do everything myself because I knew the problem inside out. For the second business, I was not as technically savvy. I wasn't technically savvy to build the solution I wanted to build. And I had to rely on others. And obviously when you're building a team for the first time and you're managing people that are older than you, you're probably not gonna get it right the first time. So what I wish I did have a mentor. I wish I joined a startup to work either part-time basis or even full-time basis. And I studied how the CEO managed their team. I studied how would he or she interact with the co-founders and the managers and the junior staff and interns. I would study that. And once I feel like, okay, and I would study someone good as well. And once I've done that, then I would have started my own thing. Then I would have started my second startup business and built a team. And because I didn't do that, I went just straight into building and made more mistakes than I would have made if I actually was more patient. 25-year-old me is going to be and has decided to be extremely, extremely patient while working really, really hard. And I'm prepared to work really, really hard and be very, very patient for a very, 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 very long time. And this is something that I wasn't like that until literally this business, because I realized that my impatience was the reason why certain things I decided to stop. When in hindsight, I believe that if I stuck to it, things would be different. But it is what it is. I have no regrets. I think everyone makes mistakes in every area of life. And I think that the vibration, frequency, I don't know what we call it, the feeling of shame, guilt, regret, all these feelings do no good to your life. If you want to get to a better place in life, and you want to attract better people, and you want to attract more money, you need to have a higher vibration and higher frequency. And this means you have to let go of all of the feelings and emotions that cause you no good.
Good morning, guys. It is a new day. Had to wake up at 5 a.m. because today I'm filming in Surrey, which is around 3 hours away from where I live. So, welcome to the life of being an entrepreneur. I remember when I was 16, 17, I was like, I want to be a strong woman, I want to be someone that is mentally resilient, because I was going through a lot of different hard things. I'm like, I just wish I was stronger. I didn't know how I was going to get there. And now I know that, okay, to become someone who's mentally resilient and mentally strong, it's not just going to be handed over to you. You need to go through hard times, and you need to get over those hard times. And when you do get over those hard times, you become that version of you that you wanted to be when you were younger. The person I want to be now, or the person I want to become, is someone that 6 months ago, a year ago needed. That means that I'm going to have to be tested. Like, that's what entrepreneurship allows you to do, is it is the test that you need to become who you want to be. If you are someone who wants to become the most mentally strong person you've ever become, if you are someone that wants to become, someone who is the most resilient person ever, if you are someone that wants to become the most confident person ever, to become confident is to keep promises to yourself. It's also about overcoming challenges. Like when you're doing a test, for example, you become so much more confident when you make a few mistakes and then you get it right, and then you pass the test and you get an A on a test, you get an A star on a test. Like, you develop that confidence. Same as being an entrepreneur, same as holding a camera. Like, I know that if I keep showing up, sometimes I show up once a month, sometimes I show up once a week, sometimes I show up once every few months, but if I keep pushing myself to show up as many times as I can, and I decide I am not going to give up on YouTube, even if I fall off track, I am not going to give up on content creation. Even if I fall off track, I'm not going to give up on writing. I'm not going to give up on these things. I'm not going to give up on my health, even though I've gained weight again and I've got on track again. But you get what I mean. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my rant on just how I feel when it comes to career and what I've learned and what mistakes I made and things like that. And I just want to leave you guys with a message of, no matter which path you choose, entrepreneurship or a 9-to-5, there is no right answer. You need to try and decide for yourself. And even within the whole topic of entrepreneurship or take a 9-to-5, you might have a job, you might hate it, but you might find another job that you love. Or you might build one business, but you trap yourself in the business and you don't like it, and then you end up building another business that's more for you. So there's so many different ways to build your career. Just write it down. What does your dream life look like? And are you someone that is what's your risk tolerance like? Are you willing to take a risk and bet on yourself, or would you rather work for someone else and learn in a more safer environment? Do you want to eat glass or do you want to drink champagne? I don't know. But yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I will see you guys next time.